Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ananta, more specifically this little Twitter post that goes over some different stuff about some confirmations about the game. If you've not seen anything in the last couple of 24 hours, you are going to be surprised because a gameplay reveal just dropped. There's a ton of different information about it and it looks insane, dude. It looks really good. I, for one, am like anticipating this now. Like at first when the announcement trailer came, I was like, oh, this is definitely interesting. But after watching the gameplay trailer, I'm like, damn, dude, this is blending like my favorite stuff together. I really hope they're able to do it. But more specifically in this video, I wanted to talk about the Tokyo Game Show like interview that they kind of had. So NetEase went through here and they actually confirmed that all the playable characters can be unlocked through quests and exploration without gacha mechanics. So this is very interesting because we're starting to see a lot of these games that were, and I don't know if Ananta was really classified as a gacha. I don't know if they came out and said they were going to be a gacha and then they turned and they're like, you know what, never mind. Kind of like what Duet Night Abyss did, because Duet Night Abyss did kind of come out and they were going to say they were going to be a gacha. And then they had a couple of demos and like, you know what, I don't want to be a gacha no more. So I don't know if Ananta did that. I can't remember them ever saying they were specifically a gacha. I think maybe they just had that premise because the announcement trailer kind of looked like, hey, this might be, you know, a Neverest to Everest competitor, or this might be something that's a little bit more of a gacha-esque style. But they have came out and said basically, if you want to get the characters, you do not have to worry about gacha because that's not going to happen. The game's monetization focuses on cosmetics, vehicles, and housing options. So that's kind of interesting because it doesn't necessarily say that that's going to be gacha, but it does say that you're going to be able to buy stuff like, I'm guessing, like outfits, vehicles, and housing, maybe customization for that kind of stuff. And I don't necessarily know, honestly, how much that can produce a lot of income. That does make me a little bit worried on how the money is going to flow into this game, because cosmetics are, you know, everybody likes to buy cosmetics. Obviously, skins in games are a big selling point for a lot of people, and people do put a lot of money into that. But it's like vehicles, housing options. How crazy can you get in your house? You know what I mean? How many crazy different things can you do? The vehicles, I could see that being pretty interesting because depending on the customization of the vehicle or what you can and can't do with it, maybe like skins and wraps and stuff like that would be pretty interesting, or different cosmetics, or even different vehicles in general. Maybe you can get different vehicles, but they cost a little bit of money. But how is that going to play into the actual game? Housing at the other end, it's like, you know, how much you get into the housing, how much of this is going to be like, you know, are you like simulating stuff? Are you like having a little bit of fun in your house? Like how much are you actually spending at the house where it's going to make a sense where you're like actually willing to drop $100, you know, on some decorations or something, you know? So that's kind of a thing for me that I'm like, you know, I don't necessarily know how they're going to make all their money, but I do have a little bit of faith because obviously they know what they're doing with the gameplay and they have a nice flow to it. Now it does look like it's going to be single player. I don't necessarily know if it's just going to be a driven game, like it's a story driven game, like a GTA or something like that. Obviously GTA has the online aspect of it, but that's like a whole like kind of separate side of GTA 5. So it's kind of interesting to see if maybe they do something like that, because obviously they're kind of copying a little bit of that stuff, like the GTA stuff and then the style, and maybe they're going to copy their, you know, like flow with the online stuff. Who really knows? But it goes on to say a playable demo highlighted Spider-Man style swinging, high-speed chases, and a vibrant open world blending Japanese, European, and American districts. I gotta say, dude, it looked phenomenal. So that was obviously a demo based on what we're seeing here from the like little play trailer that we got, or gameplay trailer rather, that we got. And I gotta say, it was dope. There's a lot of cool things, man, and I really hope that comes to fruition because it looks like it's almost too good to be true. I don't know what to say. Other than I really hope it's, you know, accurate. So with the global launch planned for 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and iOS and Android. So yes, it will still be coming to your mobile devices. This is what I'm starting to find very interesting, because if it's not a gacha game, we're starting to see very high class mobile games. Obviously it has a PC and a PlayStation 5, you know, client side of it, so they are able to do more things because of that, because obviously on a PlayStation and a PC it's going to be able to run better. But we're starting to see a nice like optimization, hopefully anyway, for iOS and Android, and you're already seeing, like you say, like you're playing these high class games on your mobile device. So it's like we're blending a lot of like AAA stuff into like mobile gaming, and it is starting to be very interesting where the market and like the landscape's going to be for these type of games. Like, are we always going to drop gacha now, or is gacha gone? For, you know, if these games start to be more successful, I think there is a good chance that other studios might look into it and be like, hey, maybe we don't have to do 50-50s all the time. Maybe we don't have to price out characters, and maybe we don't have to, like, there's other ways to make some money, dude. I don't know. It's very interesting to see how this is going. Like, even Duet Night Abyss was like, hey, you know what? We're not going for gacha. We're just going to kind of do the Warframe model. We'll see if it works. And honestly, I really hope it does, because it's another like path, another way that other devs could maybe find a different way or route that they want to go that doesn't require them to do gacha, the 50-50 stuff and all that different things that we don't necessarily like. But we're gonna have to see a little bit more, dude. I'm just so like, it's insane how many different things are going on in this game that I'm a little worried, but at the same time a little hyped. There's just so much information coming out, and obviously I think that there's probably going to be a little bit more information coming out because we're pretty much just like at the cuff of starting Tokyo Game Show. I don't necessarily know if they just did this like kind of early on, because they basically just jumped in here and popped this out, dude. Like it wasn't even at the show, I'm pretty sure. So it's very interesting to see that they just kind of went out and they're like, hey, you know, what were we doing? So I see a lot of people doing this. This meme is so funny from Dexter from Dokes. It says good move, but there's got to be a catch. Everybody's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but why are they dropping it? You know what I mean? Why are they dropping the gacha? It's very interesting, dude. I'm super hyped for this. Hopefully you guys are as well. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. That's all I got for you. If I have any more information, obviously we'll pop it up. Ananta is looking to be a very, very cool game, and I cannot wait to check it out if it ever, you know, comes out with a demo or something like that. Hopefully we're able to get into it, and then obviously we'll be there on release. But I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.